Welcome to itdesk.tv. Now, a subscriber sent us a pair of simultaneous equations. Now, that is a mathematics function, all right? We're IT people, but IT and math generally goes together. You don't necessarily have to be the best mathematician to do IT, but if you're one of the best mathematicians, it's almost a guarantee that you're going to do well in IT. So I say, you know what? We probably need to look into these mathematics equations as the subscriber sent it. And if you guys want us to do more of that, mathematics equations, simultaneous equations, and mathematics for CSEC, I'm going to need to get to 200 subscribers before we do more. All right? Spread the word. Look at the screen now. We're going to look at this problem. So the simultaneous equation says, it's a pair of them. Y equal 4 minus 2x and y equal 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. All right? So the first thing we want to do in these types of equations is we need to first of all get rid of the y, because we need to solve the equation. So it says if y equal to 4 minus 2x and y also equals to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, then this is how we're removing the y. 4 minus 2x in parentheses equals 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. So that's how we get rid of the y. You have to do that first, because the aim of this process is to simplify the equation all the way down so we can figure out what the x means, what the value is. All right. The second thing that we're going to do, we need to solve for the x, and we do this by doing the opposite of the operations that are within the equation. What do we mean? We need to get the x on only one side of the equation. All right, and right now we have it on both sides. We have 4 minus 2x, which is equal to 2x squared and things like those. So we need to get rid of the x. We need to put it on one side. So everything from this point is to get the x over into one side. So here we go. We're going to remove, first of all, we're looking at row 17 here. We're going to remove the positive, that's the 4. We're going to get rid of the 4. And I'm doing this piece by piece, step by step. Because when I was doing CSEC back in the day, or CXC, that was the problem. If we jumped a step, someone would have missed it. So we're not going to do that here. Check it out. So we're going to get rid of the 4 first. So to get rid of a positive 4, remember we said we have to do the opposite. We have to put a negative 4, a minus 4 into the equation. And anything that we put on the left, we have to also do it on the right. So it has to be a balance, all right? It has to balance at all times. So 4 minus 4 minus 2x is equal to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 4, because that's the same minus 4 that we just put over on the left coming back over on the right. Now the equation looks like this. Minus 2x equal 2x squared minus 3x minus 3. See, the equation is getting smaller. All right. Now let's remove the 2x, because remember the goal is to simplify this equation as simple as it can get with all the x only on one side. Let's remove the 2x. We want to get rid of a minus 2x. So what do? To get rid of a minus 2x, we have to put the opposite of the operation into the equation. So a minus 2x plus a 2x will get rid of that minus 2x. So that's what we do. Minus x plus 2x is equal, and since we did it on the left, we have to also insert it on the right. So 2x squared plus the same 2x that we inserted on the left, we put it into the equation here, minus 3x minus 3. 0 equal 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 3. Remember when we said adding a negative is the same as subtracting a positive. So we simplified. If we just wanted to simplify the equation, it would now read 2x squared minus x minus 3 equals 0. And we flip the 0 around for readability. Now, it brings us to another point in the equation. If it's simplified enough, we could solve for the equation. But not all cases will you have it as simple as this. So what we're saying is, in order to truly understand what's going on, you have to remember what a general quadratic equation formula looks like. And it looks like this on the screen. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Let's explain what that is real quick. Now, this is what it says. We need the equation in the form where we can factorize it. Number 1, two numbers that the sum equals the coefficient of x. In this equation, the coefficient of x is minus 1, right? Minus 1. See, here's x at 27 minus x, so that's minus 1. And the product of the two numbers that we found equals the product of the coefficient of x squared. In this case, what do we have in the equation that is x squared? The only thing in here that's x squared is 2. Therefore, the product of the coefficient of x squared in this equation is 2. Because x squared only shows up, and this is what it is in the equation. And the constant in the equation, which would be c, equals to 3, minus 3, I'm sorry. That's the constant. So let's put the numbers into the equation and see if it makes sense. Because if you put the numbers in, it should come back to what we simplified it to. So here it is. 2x squared, remember the 2, x squared plus 2x minus 3x, 2 minus 3 takes you into a negative, which makes it now equal to minus x minus 3, which is the constant, equals 0. That's how you do it. Let's move on. Now we factor by grouping. That's what we're trying to do. The highest common factor in this equation, 2 is the highest common factor for the first two numbers, and the second set would be minus 3. That's the highest common factor. So we have to group them separately. And this is what they look like when they're grouped separately. Look at the screen. 2x times x, you know that comes back to 2x squared. 2x times 1 equals to 2x. You see, it comes back right there. Minus 3 times x equals minus 3, and that's what you have on the screen here. And minus 3 times 1 is equal to minus 3, equals to 0. So the equation matches back perfectly, so we know we're on the right track. All right. We could also show you that 2x times 1, just like we showed you right there, is the same as 2x squared minus x minus 3, which also can be written this way. All right. Now check this out. This is where it gets down to the finalization of the equation. Now, we know that a number times 0 is equal to 0. One of these sides, one of these two, what we call this, what's contained in the parentheses, must be equal to 0 because the sum is 0. So we don't know what it is that was multiplied by 0 that made it 0, or no. But we know that must be the case. So we'll solve for them separately to find out what x is. And in this case, x can be either of two values. So let's go. So we do the first one first. The first parentheses, let's solve for that first. So 2x minus 3. And remember that we're trying to solve for x. So we're trying to get rid of the numbers to break it all the way down. So we add a 3 on one side. So we have to plus add a 3 on the other side. So now it's 2x is equal to 3. Now to get rid of the 2 times the x, which is equal to 3, we have to divide by 2. And if we divide by 2 on the left side, we must divide by 2 on the right. So it's 2x divided by 2 is equal to 3 divided by 2. So now x is equal to 1.5, which is 3 divided by 2. Let's do the other side. We're checking on the second side. X plus 1 equals to 0. To get rid of the 1, we have to minus 1 on this side, so we minus 1 on the other side. Therefore, x is equal to minus 1. So the two possible values for x, according to this equation, would be 1.5, x equal 1.5, or x equal minus 1. And that's how you solve this equation. itdesk.tv, unlocking doors.